There's no wonder these little labs don't get busted, because we are going even deeper than I could ever have imagined. This is more remote than I've ever been. The lab, finally. Jesus Christ. No wonder you can't find this place.
Now I've reached the lab, I'm about to find out just what goes into making this destructive drug.
Bloody hell. What a journey.
Jose must extract the cocaine from the plant. A complicated process which involves many chemicals. First, he adds cement to the chopped up coca leaves.
He's measuring out to the cup cement powder. I mean, this takes squashing grapes for me to a whole new level. Almost like finishing a souffle with fresh icing powder. Wow.
After Jose finishes mixing in the cement, the next delightful ingredient is added. Sulfuric acid, dissolved in water.
My eyes are burning.
Huh?
My eyes are burning.
Lo hace llorosear.
When you see the bright white of that finished product, everyone thinks it looks classy, sophisticated, then they boast and show off to their mates. The arrogance of taking it. I just love to bring them here right now and show them this goes on. I'm appalled at what goes into it. I mean, the cement was hard enough, but the sulfuric acid.
This mixture is put into a barrel and doused in gasoline. This is then left to marinate to draw the cocaine from the leaf.
It's like something out of Harry Potter. Does he know who Harry Potter is?
¿Tú sabes quién es Harry Potter?
No.
No. Thank for that. The fumes and the smell coming off that is extraordinary.
Muy bueno usted para el raspe. Nos rindió harto.
He sounds happy. Is he high?
Jose needs to separate the cocaine from the gasoline, using the next shocking addition to the mixture, battery acid.
200 centímetros de ácido.
You okay? That battery acid has helped separate the cocaine liquid from the gasoline. So basically the density is like all in water. On top is the gasoline, and underneath 10% of that water is the cocaine water.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
We have predators on our streets. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. There's about 100,000 of them, if you want to be rhetorically extreme about it, that are who are the predators. There's 100,000 real bad apples out there. 100,000 of the kids you read about in the front page of the newspaper every day.
Thank you very much. You've done that. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, but I want to say at the outset that I didn't come today just to give a pep talk or exchange niceties. Those of you engaged in law enforcement have struggled long and hard in what must often have seemed like a losing war against the menace of crime. I'm grateful to you for that, and so are the American people. But besides being grateful, I have some good news for you. A major initiative that I believe can mark a turning point in the battle against crime. As all of you know, crime today is an American epidemic. It takes the lives of over 20,000 Americans a year, touches nearly a third of America's homes, and results in about $8.8 billion a year in financial losses. I've resisted figuring out and doing what is sometimes typical in remarks of this kind, and that is to tell you how many people are going to be murdered while I'm talking to you. But these statistics suggest that our criminal justice system is broken down, that it just isn't working, and many Americans are losing faith in it. 9 out of 10 Americans believe that the courts in their home areas aren't tough enough on criminals. And the cold statistics do demonstrate the failure of our criminal justice system to adequately pursue, prosecute, and punish criminals. In New York City, for example, less than 1% of reported felonies end in a prison term for the offender. the perception is growing that the crime problem stems from the emergence of a new privileged class in America, a class of repeat offenders and career criminals who think they have a right to victimize their fellow citizens with virtual impunity. They're openly contemptuous of our way of justice. They don't believe they'll be caught, and if they are caught, they're confident that once their cases enter our legal system, the charges will be dropped, postponed, plea bargained away, or lost in a maze of legal technicalities that make a mockery of our legitimate and honorable concern with civil liberties. Once again, the research shows that this common perception has a strong basis in fact. Just take one limited part of the crime picture. Transit police in New York estimate that only 500 habitual offenders were responsible for nearly half of the crimes committed in their subways last year. This rise in crime, this growth of a hardened criminal class, has partly been the result of misplaced government priorities and a misguided social philosophy. At the root of this philosophy lies utopian presumptions about human nature that see man as primarily a creature of his material environment. By changing this environment through expensive social programs, this philosophy holds that government can permanently change man and usher in an era of prosperity and virtue. In much the same way, individual wrongdoing is seen as the result of poor socio-economic conditions or an underprivileged background. This philosophy suggests, in short, that there is crime or wrongdoing, that society, not the individual, is to blame. But what has also become abundantly clear in the last few years is that a new political consensus among the American people utterly rejects this point of view. The increase in citizen involvement of the crime problem and the tough new state statutes directed at repeat offenders make it clear that the American people are reasserting certain enduring truths, the belief that right and wrong do matter, that individuals are responsible for their actions, that evil is frequently a conscious choice, and that retribution must be swift and sure for those who decide to make a career of preying on the innocent. This administration, even as we're struggling with our economic and international problems, has also been attempting to deal with the threat of crime and to speak for this new consensus. As you know, one of the most critical duties that we faced upon taking office was controlling the influx of illegal drugs into this country. The South Florida Task Force, which we established under the leadership of Vice President George Bush, has, in the opinion of virtually all knowledgeable observers, been highly successful in slowing the illegal flow of drugs into the United States. I'll return to the subject of illegal drug trade in a moment, but let me say now that what was happening in South Florida is an example of the increasing sophistication and power of organized criminal enterprises and the grave danger that they pose to our nation.